Join me as I dive into Gus Kenworthy's story, and try to uncover how his connection to Miley Cyrus shaped his journey of coming out as gay. What happens when the story the world tells about you collides with the truth you're telling yourself? Today, we're diving into a narrative that's less about a rumored celebrity fling, and more about a profound, hidden identity crisis played out under the blinding glare of the spotlight. This is the story of Gus Kenworthy, Olympic silver medalist, X Games champion, and how his publicly constructed link to pop icon Miley Cyrus became an unexpected, painful, and ultimately transformative crucible in his journey to coming out as a gay man. This isn't gossip. This is a psychological and social case study in authenticity, pressure, and the arduous path to self-ownership. We'll unpack how a manufactured narrative can intensify personal struggle, how the pressure to perform a role can force a moment of truth, and how, sometimes, the person we're most afraid to disappoint is the persona we've created for public consumption. To understand the weight of this rumor, we must first set the scene. It's 2014 to 2015. Gus Kenworthy is riding the whirlwind of his Sochi 2014 Olympic fame, not just for his spectacular slopestyle silver, but for his viral, heartwarming rescue of stray dogs from Russia. He's crafted in the media as the ultimate, charming, all-American heartthrob, ruggedly handsome, athletically gifted, emotionally tender with animals. Enter Miley Cyrus, the quintessential pop culture tsunami. Fresh from her radical, boundary-demolishing bangers era, Miley is a symbol of explosive, unapologetic reinvention. She is openly queer-affirming, a vocal LGBTQ+ ally, and thrives in a space of chaotic, fluid energy. When paparazzi photos surface of Gus and Miley laughing together at events, or when he's spotted in her Instagram stories, the media machine doesn't just see two young celebrities hanging out. It sees a story, a perfect, sellable narrative, the lovable jock, and the rebid pop princess. It's a heteronormative fairy tale the public and the press are programmed to understand and devour. Tabloids run headlines speculating on a secret romance. Forums dissect their every interaction. The narrative is written without their consent. Gus and Miley, an item. But inside that narrative, Gus was living a starkly different reality. He later described this period as one of intense internal conflict. The rumor wasn't just inaccurate, it was a direct contradiction to his private truth. Every headline, every tweet, every questioning look from a friend was a small reinforcement of a closet he was desperately trying to navigate. The rumor gave him a credible cover, but it was a cover that began to feel like a suffocating costume. He was now not just hiding from the public, but actively participating in a charade that made the hiding more acute. The pressure wasn't merely to be discreet, it was to perform. Let's pause here and empathize with the profound psychological tightrope Gus was walking. This is the core of his struggle. First, consider the amplification of cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the mental stress experienced by holding two or more contradictory beliefs. For Gus, the beliefs were I am gay, and the world believes I am in a heterosexual romance with one of the most famous women on the planet. The rumor with Miley didn't create this dissonance, but it amplified it to a deafening, public volume. Every time he had to deflect or smile through a question about her, the gap between his inner self and outer performance widened. Second, there was the commodification of identity. In the public eye, your identity becomes a commodity. Gus's marketable identity post-Sochi was the heartthrob hero. A coming-out story would, in the reductive view of some sponsors and media at the time, complicate that brand. The Miley rumor buttressed that marketable identity. To step away from it felt like not just a personal risk, but a professional and economic one. He was trapped between the authenticity of self and the architecture of a career built, in part, on a persona. Third, he faced the unique pressure of the ally proximity. Miley Cyrus wasn't just any celebrity, she was, and is, a formidable, noisy LGBTQ+ ally. Her platform, her Happy Hippie Foundation, was dedicated to homeless and LGBTQ+ youth. Being linked romantically to her placed Gus in a uniquely ironic position. He was personally closeted while being intimately associated with one of pop culture's loudest voices for queer visibility. This likely created a profound sense of irony and isolation. He was standing next to a beacon of the very freedom he couldn't yet claim. Finally, there was the erosion of personal agency. A coming-out story is, at its heart, about claiming agency, the right to tell your own story, in your own words, on your own terms. The Gus and Miley narrative was a blatant theft of that agency. It was a story being written for him, boxing him into a corner. The journey to coming out then becomes not just about revealing truth, but about violently reclaiming the authorship of your own life from the hands of gossip blogs and public assumption. Rumors fade, but internal truth remains. The Miley Cyrus speculation eventually died down, as these things do. But for Gus, the aftermath left a clearer landscape. The relief of the rumor passing was likely tempered by a new clarity. He had just lived through a trial by fire of inauthenticity, and it was agonizing. He has described the period after the rumors as one of deep reflection. The experience served as a stark, uncomfortable mirror. It showed him the extreme lengths to which the world would go to fit him into a conventional box, and the extreme personal cost of complying. The rumor was a negative blueprint. It showed him the life he didn't want to live. The fiction highlighted the necessity of his truth. The energy required to maintain the facade, to laugh off the rumors, to manage the perceptions of family, friends, and fans, was energy siphoned away from his athletic training, his personal joy, and his mental health. The turning point wasn't a sudden event, but a dawning realization. The cost of hiding was becoming greater than the feared cost of being seen. The Miley episode had, in a twisted way, stress-tested his closet and found it wanting. It was no longer a safe hiding place. It had become a prison constructed by public expectation. In October 2015, Gus Kenworthy looked directly into a ESPN camera, and with remarkable composure and courage, stated, "I am gay." This moment was the diametric opposite of the Miley Cyrus rumor cycle, where that was defined by speculation, hearsay, and external narration. This was defined by clarity, first-hand truth, and absolute agency. Gus was not a passive subject of a story. He was the author, the narrator, and the protagonist. He has since spoken about the immediate feeling of liberation. A weight, compounded exponentially by the public performance of heterosexuality, was lifted. The heartthrob persona could now be reconciled with his true self. He could be a champion skier, a kind person, a dog lover, and a gay man. The fragments of his identity could integrate. Crucially, coming out allowed him to reclaim his connection to the LGBTQ+ community from a place of authenticity. No longer was he an adjacent figure, tangentially linked through rumors with an ally. He was now a member, a champion, in both senses of the word, with a powerful platform. His story became his own, to use to inspire young athletes, to advocate for inclusivity in sports, and to stand in solidarity with others. Looking back, Gus has treated the rumor chapter with remarkable grace. He doesn't frame Miley Cyrus as a villain, far from it. He frames the experience as a difficult, but instructive part of his journey. Miley was, in essence, an unwitting participant in a societal script. Their connection is now reframed as a powerful symbol. It is a symbol of societal pressure, representing the automatic, often brutal, application of heteronormative templates to every relationship, especially in celebrity culture. It is a symbol of growth. The contrast between the shrouded, anxious figure in those paparazzi photos and the confident, outspoken advocate he is today is a testament to the transformative power of self-acceptance. And it is a symbol of unlikely catalysts. Our journeys are often shaped not by clear signposts, but by obstacles that force us to find a new path. The rumor was an obstacle that forced Gus to confront the untenable nature of his disguise. Their story, in the end, isn't a romance. It's a parable about the difference between a role you play and the truth you live. Miley's world was built on the mantra, "Be yourself." Gus's struggle was to learn, under immense pressure, how to finally take that advice. So, how did Gus Kenworthy's connection to Miley Cyrus shape his coming out journey? It did not cause it. It did not inspire it in a romantic sense. Instead, it accelerated, intensified, and illuminated it. It applied the heat of global scrutiny to the already simmering pot of his personal struggle, forcing the water to boil over. It turned a private conflict into a publicly staged drama, making the resolution coming out a necessary act of narrative reclamation. It taught him, in the most visceral way possible, that living a lie for public consumption is a unique form of torment. Gus Kenworthy's legacy is dual, Olympic-level athleticism, and Olympic-level courage. His silver medal from Sochi is a testament to his skill. His life since coming out is a testament to his character. And the bizarre, challenging interlude of the Miley rumor remains a crucial chapter, not a tabloid footnote, but the fiery trial that forged his commitment to authenticity. It reminds us that sometimes, we have to be squeezed into the wrong shape to discover the unyielding strength of our true form. His story is a powerful message. You are not the rumor, the assumption, or the role someone else writes for you. You are the author. And the bravest thing you can ever do is pick up the pen and write your truth. What do you think? Have you ever felt trapped by a narrative someone else created about you? How do you see the role of media and speculation in the lives of public figures struggling with identity? Does the pressure to conform feel different in the hypermasculine world of action sports? The conversation about identity, performance, and authenticity is more relevant than ever. Share your thoughts and personal insights in the comments below. Let's keep this dialogue respectful and empowering. And if you're interested in more deep dives into the complex journeys of LGBTQ+ athletes and icons, from figures like Tom Daley to Megan Rapinoe, be sure to subscribe and explore our other videos. Thanks for joining me in this exploration. Remember, your story is yours to tell. Thanks for the watching and subscribe.